Visits and meetings and luncheons and briefings made up the trip of 3 British members of Parliament representing the Foreign Affairs Committee. We caught up with the Commissioner and opposition member for local feedback. The British Foreign Affairs Committee met with a number of prominent people from different sectors of society. WIV4 got some of them to go on the record about what those closed sessions were like in their opinions. The People's Democratic Movement, the official opposition party, had a 1-hour interview, and the Honorable Doug Parnell says he is very interested in seeing what comes of the sessions.
I thought that they asked some very pointed questions. It's clear that they are very interested in finding out what is happening in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And I think it will be instructive to see what types of reports they lay to Parliament.
Honorable Parnell said questions from the UK representatives sought to determine if the opposition would support limiting government spending and campaign finance reform.
I think primarily we've seen a lot of what I think I would term self-dealing on behalf on the parts of members of cabinet, you know, we laid the question at their feet. I mean, they're responsible for good governance. How is it possible to have the level of self-dealing that we're seeing on the part of members of cabinet without their responsibility of good governance coming into question? Specifically, I think they wanted to know whether the opposition would support certain things. They wanted to know whether we would support ministers of government not being involved in commercial transactions when they are ministers of government. And of course, that's something that we support. They also wanted to know if we would support certain caps on spending during elections and campaign finance, and of course that's something that we would support.
And while many view the 2-day visit last week as out of the ordinary and potentially damaging for the TCI, Human Rights Commissioner-elect Doreen Quelch-Mizik said the process is not uncommon.
The visitors that came to us, this is not something new. This was all started in 1999 when the white paper came through, and again it was 203 and 207. We all must understand that the Turks and Caicos Islands is an overseas territory, and as such, Britain, the UK, still has the power to oversee us. And until we're independent, we ought to expect people to come in and look at our governance.
Quelch-Mizik, who is a notable attorney, said she also used the opportunity to push for more help when it comes to illegal migration.
I didn't walk away with any feeling of any yes or no. I think, you know, to the best of my ability, I provided answers to the questions that were put to me. But again, this ought not be one of fear. This ought to be one where we're looking at it positively in view of receiving some of the assistance. I'll give you an example. We talked about the illegal migrant problem that we're having in this country and how can we better combat this. And I used that opportunity to promote and try to ask for assistance and put us on your list of things that we can get.
Official reports from the meetings will be posted on the FAC website at www.fco.gov.uk.